All right, why not? You know what? And I'm going to put my show into play here. Hey.
Hi. I want to let you know while you put your show into play.
Yes.
There was a man riding a bicycle over the Bulkley Bridge on 84. Please do, when we say stay off the roads, we also mean stay off your bicycles.
Yes.
Especially on the highway. That was a little public service announcement brought by Yoshi.
Actually on the interstate?
On the interstate.
Oh, that's kind of illegal.
Yeah, I have some photos and video. Yeah, that is illegal, not to mention. I have some photos and videos posted on social media. Stay tuned for that.
Oh, good. Outing the guy on the bike, yeah. All right. Let's take a look and see what we have for our early morning 7-day forecast. We have icy conditions in the forecast for several more hours, especially in the interior Connecticut. And then along the shoreline, we've been seeing that rain. We're going to continue to do that, and that's part of your early morning 7-day forecast. So we're still going to run this early morning weather alert. We're still going to see wintry precipitation until about, I'd say 2, 3, 4 in the afternoon, then it comes to a close. We're already actually starting to see an end in sight across western parts of the state, but we could see a renewal of some of that precipitation for a while, even if it's ended at your house during the early afternoon. And then when that system leaves, there's a really steep gradient along the back side of this thing, which means that there's just a lot of power to bring that wind down to the ground, and that wind is going to howl and also take that cold air that's locked up in northern New England and in Quebec and move it into Connecticut without any problem at all. And so not only will it be cold in terms of the air temperature, but it'll come with a wind. So wind chills could go below -25 at times as this really cold air, where we have those -20s for just air temperatures. That source of cold air comes down through northern New England, New York State, and right into Connecticut. It doesn't also get moderated by the lakes. Sometimes when you have more of a northwesterly wind, it crosses Lake Ontario, and there's actually some moderation to it. Doesn't look like we're going to have as much of a help with that this time around. So you can see with our Futurecast tomorrow's weather today, these are the wind chills. I'm using this so we can just compare over time how that's going to change. It'll feel as if it's in the 50s perhaps for a little while as the low pressure center comes across southeastern Connecticut. But at the very same time that's happening at 2 p.m., look what's happening to the northwest. Already we have a wind chill forecast to be at 8 in Salisbury. So look to the northwest if you want to see where we're really going to get our air from as we look towards Monday. And you can see, as I said, those wind chills will go below -20, as cold as -27, the projection here for Monday morning. So that's why there are wind chill advisories for almost all of the states, save the shoreline, and even more of a warning, that being the wind chill warnings up over the Berkshires, where we could have wind chills probably below -30 at times there. So definitely a concern for tomorrow is the cold. Heading into Tuesday, we're going to come out of it after a low of 0. We will see highs in the 20s to near 30, and then warm enough that on Wednesday we will see just plain rain with temperatures running in the 40s. In the shorter term, though, we have the precipitation. I think cold air stays locked through the Connecticut River Valley, at least to about Middletown, and we might start to see some of that warm air intrude a little bit farther to the north, maybe up towards Route 6. We might see some rain, just plain rain work, in fact, past Route 44 for a little while, before we then see those colder temperatures coming in across eastern Connecticut. And you can see across western Connecticut how we're already starting to see perhaps a tapering of some of this precipitation, at least for a while. There could be some freezing drizzle farther to the west, but I think some of the heavier precipitation, it looks like we're seeing at least a little bit of a lull here as this little dry slot comes in close to the central area of low pressure. But notice how there's more precipitation out to the west, so some of that might actually pinwheel back in for a little while during the later part of the morning or afternoon before this whole storm finally moves on out, and then that colder air can be unleashed to come in here for late tonight and tomorrow. So when we take a look at our Futurecast tomorrow's weather today, we have to say the same sort of disclaimer, and that is this, is that I think some of the cold air and some of these pinks should actually be a little bit farther to the south, even during the course of the noon hour and beyond, especially for the Connecticut River Valley. But I think what this really does have true is that most of the precipitation should end between, I would say, 2 and 4 o'clock this afternoon. So that's the good news in all of this. In your early warning 7-day forecast, we already did. We noted today we are going to see temperatures crashing, but I think where temperatures are now, they're going to hold steady till about the mid-afternoon, and then what we'll have after that is for those temperatures by the time you're sitting down to dinner to be falling through the 20s and into the teens, and then they really crash tonight. as we will see temperatures down at near zero. A lot of ice out there, though. We're going to end it here with our iCam over Middletown because you can see how the lens is just caked on with this ice, and that's accumulating and accumulating and accumulating. And as it's doing so, some of those branches could come down, and so we could have some more power outages. And that's one of the things that may be a main concern as temperatures get so cold. And some of this ice is on those roadways as well. So we've got to check in with Nicole Nalepa